Hey guys, it's Brickmaster AS here with another Elemental Masters All About. I believe this is part 5, if I did the math correctly there. This is going to be all about Zane, my personal favorite Elemental Master. He is the Elemental Master of Ice, and these are all the Zane minifigures I have of him, unless you count the 3 from the movie. Those are 3 of them that I have from his movie showing. But here we have him in his DX or Dragon Extreme, his Air Jitsu, his prison garb, his other Air Jitsu robes, this is like his Air Jitsu form, and then his 2 from the Day of the Departed. About him, to start off with, we find him first of all is Under the Water by Sensei Wu. And Sensei Wu recruits him into the ninja team, joins up the team. He gets one of the cool, awesome dragons, which is the whole reason I have the DX form. He gets this cool dragon that you've seen before. And after we see that beautiful dragon with him, he goes through. Eventually the dragon goes off through Season 1. He is quarreling with the good old Serpentine that are just plain obnoxious. And after they go off against the Serpentine, of course, the Great Devourer. As through this whole Season 1 time, Zane gets development. And he also finds out that he is a ninjroid. He is not an actual human being, which eventually he ends up working and kind of embracing that in Season 3. I skipped Season 2 there, but in Season 2, he is, again, just one of the ninja. I do not recall any high points that he really has, per se. He is the first to get his reach his true potential as well in those early 2 seasons. But through those seasons, he is kind of just as Zane, beloved ninja that I adore. But in Season 3, we get to see good old ninjroids who are fashioned after my friend Zane there. And these ninjroids end up kind of making Zane really question himself and who he is. And eventually he ends up being destroyed. Spoiler alert there. Probably throw out spoilers for Season 8 will happen here. I do not recall if all episodes have been aired in the United States. But you have been warned there's going to be a lot of spoilers throughout the whole seasons, for all seasons. But end of Season 3 is when we see his development. His attachment grows with Pixel. We really see him kind of struggle to find who he is, and eventually he realizes at the end with the face of the Overlord and sacrifices himself to save the rest of the ninja. Then in Season 4, the whole ninja team is in despair, and we are wondering what happened to Zane. Well, he turns out that along the line somewhere, Master Chen, good old Chen here with his Jade Blade, captured our friend Zane and Pixel as well, and he was using that to get the rest of the ninja team to come and try and find him. So the whole team kind of come and find Zane, and Zane is now in this titanium form, which he rebuilt himself as after his destruction in Season 3. And Zane is trying to figure out who he is as the titanium ninja now, and he kind of discovers he's no longer the white ninja, but he is the titanium ninja. Eventually the team find him, and they find out that Pixel had passed, but not entirely. Her physical body was gone, but Zane had inserted the mental part of Pixel inside his own head. So Pixel is inside Zane's head. Well, maybe not this Zane. This Zane was way previous. Only human version of Zane I got her with skin on, so to speak. But anyways, wrapping up with Season 4, we get to see Zane end up discovering his elemental dragon, which only Lloyd had been able to do up until that point. And he kind of helps bring the elemental masters out of their despair and shoot them forward to face Chen and his Anachondrite army. Then in Season 5, Zane kind of almost takes a side role as a ninja, not a side role overall though. And we see him as Lloyd gets abducted by our good old friend Moro and his evil friends. And we get to see Zane and the rest of the team try and find him. Zane takes a turn at leading for a while, ends up losing his voice into some I believe it was backwards. But they go through. Zane kind of just plays that ninja support. Eventually they face off with the Preeminent and destroy the Preeminent. And then we hit Season 6. Now Season 6, in my opinion, was probably one of the more highlighted seasons for Zane, just because we kind of see him face off one-on-one personally. I mean, usually we see Zane fight Moro and stuff, but we really get to see Zane face our good old Sky Pirate Nauticon. In this season, all the ninja are being kind of captured by Nadakan and his Jin Blade. And Zane goes to take Nadakan one-on-one and plays a game of chess with him. And Zane had the upper hand until right at the end, Nadakan kind of switched it on him and captures Zane in the Sword of Souls. And that's all we see of Zane then for the rest of the season until I believe it was the second to last episode they are freed, and then in the last episode they go and fight. But again, throughout this whole season Zane kind of takes the side role, so to speak. Then we hit the Day of the Departed TV special. Zane gets these robes, which are probably one of my second or third favorite robes of all time for any of the ninja characters. And we really don't see Zane that much. He, again, takes a side role. He faces off, or he goes, kind of pays respect to his father in it, and he faces off against some of the reborn ninjroids, but, you know, he's not really a main pivotal character. That was kind of Cole's development period. Then, of course, we hit the good old Ninjago movie. I did enjoy that movie. That's all I'm going to say on the movie, because this is about the Elemental Masters, and the movie and the TV show are kind of separate realities. But then, coming after that, we hit Season 8. Now, in this season, Zane is, of course, has his mixed new style with the old and new versions of the ninja. But I've only seen Season 8 once, so I cannot recall every pivotal detail that happens. But I do believe Zane, again, kind of takes a side role for a bit until he gets his motorcycle and he has to go undercover into the Sons of Garmadon. Now, he ends up in a biker race, and they find out that he's a ninja. And he and Mr. E end up having a little face-off. He finds out that Mr. E is also a ninjroid. What ninjroid, whether he's an old reprogrammed one of these, whether what he is, we don't know, but I should say he's not a ninjroid, he's a robot, we know. But Zane kind of fights him a little bit, and Zane ends up bringing the Quiet One's bug onto the ship, or the Destiny's Bunny. But Zane kind of rolls through and ends up stranded in the land of dragons with the rest of the ninja, or the realm of dragons in Oni. And that's kind of where Season 8 gets left off. Now, where he gets his power from, because we know Kai had his parents, Wu and Garmadon got theirs from the first Elemental Master, along with Lloyd. Zane, we're not really sure what happens, except we do get a dream sequence, and I can't remember I think it was Season 8 that we see this dream sequence in. I don't think it was a Season 9 type deal, but we see him have a dream, and the Elemental Master of Ice visited Zane's father, who built him, and then left. And then Sensei Wu came, I believe it was the next day, to where Zane's father was. He said Zane was acting strangely, and Zane kind of almost had new energy about him. So I assume that that Elemental Master then passed his abilities on to Zane during that area. I'm going to take E out of here. So, that is Elemental Master of Ice, Zane. It's kind of his rundown through the series. He goes kind of through a lot of interesting development, from kind of being a human to kind of trying to find himself as a ninjroid, to destroying himself, becoming a titanium ninja, to finding himself as a titanium ninja, and kind of trying to figure out his past. And I know for a while in Season 1 he didn't have any memory of his past until he found his memory switch. So I do like Zane, personal favorite. But after this, as you know, lately on the channel, this is off Zane now, there was a stop motion I made. I plan on trying to do more stop motions, maybe even 100% switching to stop motions, or 95%. I know I have more of these to do, and I do want to go through all the Elemental Masters. I know I have, I think, the other three ninja, Jay, Ni, and Cole to go, and then of all the Elemental Masters that I have in Lego form. I'm not going to do any that have not been as a Lego minifigure, which I believe there's 4. It's Gravity, Sound, Form, and one other who I can't think of off the top of my head. I'll quick look it up on my list here. But that's going to be all for this video. I will start today, the time of the recording of this video, I am going to work on a new stop motion to put up. This video is reaching the 10-minute mark, which means it's going to be a doozy to upload. or our 4 elemental masters. Jacob, master of sound. Camille, master of form. Balobo, master of nature. And Gravis, master of gravity. With that, Brickmaster out.